Last night we saw one of the brightest young talents in NBA history, Victor Wembanyama, face off against one of the best players in NBA history, Giannis Antetokounmpo, for the first time. And despite the fact that Wemby was on a minutes restriction in this game, it was a matchup that didn't disappoint. Giannis showed us why he's one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world, and also one of the best to ever play the game, while Wemby showed the potential to be one of the, if not the best player in the world one day, and the potential to maybe even reach the heights Giannis has. It was an incredible matchup. It was more than any of us could have expected out of a game between a 5-win team and the team with the second best record in the NBA. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about the present and the future. In this game, Giannis Antetokounmpo had 44 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block on 67.9, 66.7, 66.7 splits, and a 71.8 true shooting percentage. What made the game so impressive is he only took 6 free throw attempts in this game. This mostly was just off him doing whatever he wanted to, showcasing that he's one of the most, if not the most, unstoppable player going downhill. How his rare combination of speed, body control, height, length, flexibility, and strength are able to make him one of the most dominant players in NBA history. He had a ton of dunks in this game. It felt like he was playing my career with the amount of dunks he got off. He was effective on both sides of the glass, he made an impact defensively, and he also had an impact as a playmaker, which is an area he's one of the most underrated, I would say, in the NBA right now. He's really good in that area. It was just one of those nights for Giannis, where he decided that nobody was going to stop him. He put it into a gear that we see from all-time greats, like LeBron, MJ, Steph, Kobe, among others, where you can just tell they're on another level and can control being at that level consistently, which is why Giannis is one of the best to ever do it. Giannis added another great performance to his historic season, a historic season that's kind of going under the radar. He's well on pace to be the first player in NBA history to average at least 30 points per game on a 60+ field goal percentage. And the other thing I liked was he did take the challenge of guarding Wemby. It wasn't the full-time thing he did, because that's not how the Bucks defense works, even if the Bucks defense is a real concern. That's another story I talked about in another video. But to see him defend Wemby was really fun. He was really engaged, and you could tell he wanted to defend him, and that's something that's always good for the game. Victor Wembanyama was also great in this game. He put up 27 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 5 blocks on 55.6, 25, 83.3 splits, and a 65.4 true shooting percentage. Now he did this on a minutes restriction, as he only played in 26 minutes and 11 seconds of this game. Per 36 minutes, he would have put up around 34 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 7 blocks. And he just did things in this game that made me question the reality of the sport. The self-lob off the backboard after taking Giannis off the bounce, the transition behind the back into a poster and 1 dunk on Brook Lopez. He was just truly a dominant player in this game. And that's the scary part about this. He's still trying to figure it out. He hasn't fully put it all together yet, and he's having games like this against a title contender. He's the first player I've ever seen make Giannis look normal in height, which is really rare to do. His blocks in this game were absurd. He even had a major one toward the end of this game against Giannis, which is really impressive for a rookie, as it would be impressive for any player, let alone someone that literally turned 20 years old the day of this game. And you could tell he wanted to play more just as much as fans wanted to see him play more, But I do understand the side of it where the Spurs were being cautious with his return from the ankle sprain. Regardless, what we got was more than enough in this game. He definitely had his rookie mistakes, what rookie doesn't, but I was impressed regardless. I will say I have questions about a few of his teammates outside of Tre Jones. None of them really look towards Wemby's way on the fast break, which is something you kind of actively have to make an effort to do because he's really hard to miss. Tre Jones should be starting. I know they stopped the point Sohan experiment a while ago, but replacing it with the no point guard experiment wasn't the answer. You should be patient with the Spurs, even if their offense is frustrating right now. They just started their rebuild. They just got their potential franchise players, so give it time. I would like to see more of what Tre Jones and Wemby are doing this season. Now, I don't know if Tre Jones is the long-term answer at point guard. However, through this season, it clearly is what works best, not only for the development of Wemby, but also the development of Sohan and Vassell. Also, shout out to Devin Vassell, because he was incredible in this game, and one of the clear-cut long-term cornerstones on that team in my opinion. What we saw last night was something out of an anime, because it didn't feel like I was watching something that should be possible in real life. To see Giannis do what he did, as this outlier freak athlete that dominates games because he's more skilled than people want to admit, somehow look normal in height next to a rookie that just turned 20 years old that day, is not something that was on my bingo card. But Wemby lived up to the hype and was dominant in this game. Giannis showed us why he's one of the best in the world and one of the most dominant players we've ever seen. Wemby showed us why he has the potential to be one of the best players in the world and one of the most dominant players we've ever seen. It's always fun seeing these present versus future matchups, and I do think we will be looking back at pictures from this matchup the same way we look at pictures of young Kobe Bryant versus Michael Jordan. Now, what I'm about to say is not something I'm guaranteeing by any stretch of the imagination, because it's something only time will tell, and it would be a major accomplishment if he did this. But watching this game in real time, then watching it back again this morning, I think Wemby has the upside to be even better than Giannis Antetokounmpo. Again, it's not a guarantee, because Giannis is one of the best players in NBA history. He's actually in my top 15 as of right now, and expecting any player, no matter how gifted and talented they are, to be a top 15 player ever is a lot. But I just look at the fact Wemby somehow has even more outlier physical and athletic tools, which says something because Giannis has some of the best tools and athletic traits we have ever seen out of a basketball player. And also the fact he's more polished at 19 to 20 years old than Giannis was at 19 to 20 years old. I think his handle is at the same level. Giannis had a pretty good handle at a young age, but I think his feel for the game is further along than Giannis's was. I think his perimeter scoring ability is a bit further along. Even if the numbers don't show it, I think he's more polished in that area. I also think he's a better defensive player than Giannis was at the same age, which really says something because Giannis is a defensive player of the year, a two-time MVP, an NBA champion, finals MVP, and I think Wemby has a chance to be better. I'm not saying he will be better. That's preposterous to make that claim definitively when he hasn't even completed his rookie season yet, and Giannis has accomplished what Giannis has accomplished. But I do think the upside is there to be a better player than Giannis, which really says something. And again, I don't think it's crazy to say, considering many, including myself, believe that Victor Wembanyama has the potential to be the best player in the world one day. And what he did in this game, when he really hasn't put it all together yet, it makes thinking about what he could be just absurd. How good is he going to be in his prime? I think if Wemby adds more functional strength to his frame, he's around 220 pounds right now, which May feel like a lot considering how skinny he looks, but you have to remember he's 7'4", 7'5", so 220 is pretty light. I think he'll probably get up to around 240 and still have functional strength and be able to move the way he does. And he also puts it all together. All the talent is clearly there, but he's still trying to figure it out. And as he gets more reps, as he gets more opportunity, he will naturally get better and start to put it together. If he does all of that, and I think there's a real chance he does, we will be talking about the best player in the world. We will be talking about the most dominant player on offense and the most dominant player on defense. We will be talking about somebody that could win multiple MVPs, be the focal point of a team that could win multiple titles. We could be talking about someone that wins multiple Defensive Player of the Years. It's no guarantee, but the talent that Victor Wembanyama had entering the NBA as a 19-year-old and seeing what he's done already while still really not knowing what he's doing, I think at his absolute peak, he could be a player that puts together one of the most impressive resumes we have ever seen in the history of the NBA. Only time will tell, but what we saw in this game in particular is just a glimpse of what's to come. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me on the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you think about Victor Wembanyama and Giannis Antetokounmpo in the comment section below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.